We're going to start talking about clouds and precipitation. This starts on page 188 in your textbook, so you can follow along with me. A cloud is simply a collection of millions of tiny water droplets or ice crystals, and these form as the air warms and cools and starts rising and falling. The air becomes saturated, and you begin to see clouds in the sky. There are three shapes of clouds, three main cloud types. They are cumulus, stratus, and cirrus clouds. Fluffy, puffy clouds are called cumulus, layered clouds, stratus, and ice crystal clouds are called cirrus. Now, if you remember when we studied the atmosphere and the stratosphere was layered, okay, so stratus clouds are the layered clouds. The cumulus clouds are the ones that oftentimes look like shapes, like a bunny or a cat or a dog. And the cirrus are just real thin, wispy looking ice crystal clouds. The prefix or nimbo or nimbus in clouds usually brings some kind of precipitation. The prefix alto means it's a middle cloud, meaning a middle layer, and the prefix cirro means it's a high cloud. And thunderstorms come from a type of cloud called a cumulonimbus cloud. These are usually the big, black, dark clouds that we see right before a thunderstorm gets ready to hit. Next, we'll move on to our four forms of precipitation, which are rain, sleet, hail, and snow. Rain is the most common of all the four types. It begins as tiny water droplets about the size of a period at the end of your sentence, and it has to be 100 times larger than the period in order for it to fall as rain, or to become a raindrop. So they start out very, very tiny, and then they become the size of a raindrop, which even a raindrop is not very large. Next we have sleet. Sleet begins as rain. It forms as the rain falls through a freezing layer of air. So it starts rain, then falls through a freezing layer of air. The rain then freezes in the air and produces ice. So sleet is one that starts out as rain and then changes into what we know as sleet. Our third type is hail. Now, this begins as rain also, and hail is when we see balls or lumps of ice falling. What happens is the raindrops will freeze and fall down. Then it gets pushed back up, and it will fall again and freeze again. And then this keeps repeating. This is the reason we have different sizes of hailstones. Sometimes they may be as small as a dime. Other times they may be softball size hailstones. So the reason for that is how many times that ball of ice or lump of ice gets pushed back up and down through the freezing layers. Our last precipitation then is snow. This forms when the temperatures get so cold that water vapor changes to a solid. So it goes straight from a vapor, a gas, to a solid. And snow can fall either as ice crystals, or if these crystals join together, they make snowflakes, which is what we will do a dance for a little bit later in the season. As we get closer to Christmas and we need a break, or when we come back from Christmas and we need a break, we'll start doing our snowflake dance.